Hey guys, so this clip is more like the three things I put on this bike I didn't like. So I thought I'd just tell you about this here now. I haven't got the actual things with me on it because, like I said, I'm here to do this Ride and Cook series, and I just thought I'd get this out of the way while I'm here because it's better than doing it this way than just showing you a shot in the backyard. The first one, what I'd say, of the accessories I bought, I wouldn't put on a bike unless you've got it's a necessity, not just something you want to put on it, would be the sump guard. When I fitted the sump guard, and it's a factory sump guard for this bike, I found that straight off I got an added vibration to the bike, in the handlebars and in the foot pegs. I mentioned that in the clip, and a couple of guys said, oh well, you could always put rubber washers in between the bash plate and the bike itself. Well, they have got little rubber ones there, but I don't know, I've tried bash plates, steel ones on 3 different bikes, and so far they all vibrated. And a couple of the bikes did have rubber strips underneath, like double-sided rubber tapes to hold it together, but I still had that drama with it doing it. So what I'm saying is, it might be, unless you're going out there and you're going to do a lot of rough road riding or something like that, if you're going to put it on for a cosmetic thing, I wouldn't worry about it. When the bash plate is attached, it attaches up here, top part of the frame, plus you put in 2 mounts down in this section here, one each side, and that holds it in position. So if we look at the bash plate now, you'll notice this is the one that attaches to the framework at the back. Here's your big one at the front where it joins into the front engine bolt, and you'll see it's got rubber grommets that fit into it and give it a little bit of, I suppose, insulation from vibration, but it doesn't do much of a job. You can see I've had this out on, you know, it had a bit of hard treatment out there when I had it on there for a while, so I give it what I think was a pretty good test. But as far as I'm concerned, you know, you won't be going back on the bike because I don't like the added vibration it does to the foot pegs or up in the bars, and considering this is a fairly smooth bike to ride, all I am doing is buggering up a good bike. So number 2 would be the Powertronic FuelX fuel controller, which sort of are supposedly good for the bikes, you know, to add a little bit of extra fuel to them, make them run a little bit better. Now, from what I've been told, they run really well on the media, but at this stage, I don't think they run too good on the 350 Classic. And I tried all the maps in stock form, and I didn't have much luck with it at all. It just didn't go as good, the bike, with the FuelX on as what it did without. Now, I thought that may have been a little bit of, you know, like, not a fair test just to try it on one bike. So then I swung it over to the other bike, the Marsh Grey, and ran it in stock form with the FuelX on. And again, I experienced the same thing. So what my thought is with the FuelX is, it was brought out a little bit too quick and I haven't got the maps right, because you know, like I didn't notice anything different about it, and I actually thought the bike in stock form ran better without it. Now it even gets better. So then I went to the stage and put the sports exhaust on it, where with the sports exhaust on it, it should have definitely performed better in all areas. Again, not the case. I put the sports exhaust on this blue bike, or slash grey, and once again I got out there using it, and it wasn't really good at all the way it ran. So as far as that goes, it was just a bit disappointment in both areas, and I tried it in all particular conditions. I ran up through the maps from 1 right up to 10. Didn't have any luck with any of the way through it. None of them sort of seemed to work. I think the standard setting for a normal bike with the stock system is number 3 map, and I think you start off at number 5 with the sports exhaust. But I ran all through the maps when I was out there riding it around, and it was just a disappointment. Now, I'm not going to say don't buy it. I'm going to say the maps aren't good enough yet to warrant buying one, because if I compared the same thing going back, say, 3 years ago when I had an EJK on a 500, as soon as I put that EJK, and it was a similar sort of a thing to this, as soon as I put that on the bike, I instantly had enough power in that EJK on the stock 500 with a sports exhaust to move me along the seat. So it starts from the main controller, comes up into a Y section. You've got one lead, which will go up to your O2 underneath the tank. The other one just goes straight up to your handlebar mount. I put the sports muffler on, that 19-inch shorty. You've probably seen a clip where I put it on. Once again, straight away, vibration, heavy vibration into the foot pegs by adding the exhaust system. So the best way is, once again I'll show a clip of these three accessories in separate ones and you can just have a look at what was put on it. But what I'm saying to you is, on the sports exhaust it only had a very thin bracket that attached it, where this bike here's got a really thick one. And I found this, and I found it with 500s too. If you haven't got good brackets or double bracket them or go to that effect, or a nice big thick one, they add more problems than what they're worth. So I got added vibration with it, and this bike's pretty good on vibration. Like, I can ride it and have no trouble riding it at all. In fact, where I'm out here now, rode out here, I'm 30 k's out, 35 k's out, and no problems whatsoever. But I took it for a short run with the sports exhaust on it, and sure, it sounded all right and it was pretty loud, but the overall pleasure of the ride was marred by vibration in the foot pegs, which virtually aren't there much when you're actually riding the bike normally. So the best idea with these sort of bikes, I think, if you can hold back, would be to just run them in stock configuration. And, you know, because you can only get a certain bit out of the 350. So, for example, riding out here today, this bike, back to stock form, riding it out here today, was that good to ride. I was riding it along at 100 kilometres an hour. So that would be the cause mainly of the added vibration to the foot pegs. If you had a couple of good brackets, or run two of them off that support there and then join them up, that may help.